Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks, adding assets to the portfolio, or building our passive income. It has been quite the 2 weeks. I apologize. I did not get a video out last week on the dividend portfolio. Got busy with the day job, lots of options trading, and the market went absolutely wild. So let's get an update on what's been happening over the last 2 weeks. I am dumping one stock and I'm adding two more to the portfolio, and not new stocks, but I am doubling up the positions because we sold our BITO shares. We sold some calls on those. The massive run up in Bitcoin as of late, Bitcoin sitting at about 94,000 right now, made our BITO shares appreciate like crazy. And so I took the profit, I took the risk off the table, and I want to diversify that risk a little bit. So let's take a look at the account. Let's take a look at the dividends, and let's take a look at where we're at. Right now, buying power 9,750. For the week, we are basically flat. For the month, up 11% or 3,608. 3 months, 7,000 or 25%. 1 year, up 42% or $10,402. And all time since we opened this account last February, we are up that same, about 40%, 10,155%. Not too bad for a dividend account. This is not growth focused. This is a passive income portfolio. And my gosh, it is absolutely taken off. I mean, look at that line. Let's just go to the moon. So not a bad year on this portfolio. So let's talk about it. First things first, we have some options on the table. I told you I let BITO go, and now I'm trying to get my shares back for a cheaper price, and I'm trying to get paid to do it. So we have some Clean Spark puts on the table. We're up $22 on that. BITO puts on the table, up $90 on that. And some more long dated Clean Spark puts that we had open a while ago, and we were up $78 on that. So this is free money. I'm using Robinhood's margin on this to sell puts. You don't pay any interest as long as you don't get assigned. These should be fairly safe when it comes to assignment, and they are absolutely printing money. As of right now, I'm making, I don't know, on average, probably $200 a month trading options on this account. So that's kind of nice. As a buffer, I take all that money, I put it into dividend stocks. We raise our passive income, we rinse, repeat. So let's take a look at our dividends. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks. We are almost $1,000 for the month. We'll just go over everything we've got in November so far so you can see the proof. Of course, every single week we get QDT, XDT, IWM, YMAX every single week. And so it's good to see those come in. TSLY came in at $28.92. JEPQ, $14.88. Again, another round of the DTEs. BITO, $315.49. Now, with those shares gone, we will not be getting that massive dividend until I get my shares back. The goal is if I don't own the shares, I've de-risked a lot there. But if they don't come back down to 21, I'll just keep selling puts, and hopefully I can make about $100 to $150 a month selling puts on BITO. Is it the same as owning BITO? Absolutely not. Will I have less volatility in the portfolio because of it? 100%. So if I can capture even half of the dividend by just selling puts with Robinhood's money, then I will do that. NVDY coming in at $74.57. Another round of DTs and IWM. Stag at $1.48. Main at $6.22 on the 15th. And then CONY at $160.69. Not too bad. All the DTEs rounded in for Friday. And then this Friday, we have even more coming in, right? We have all the DTEs. We have YMAX coming in. And then we should also have MSTY coming in as well. That one's coming in at over $4 a share. So really nice to see that. That stock has been absolutely crazy. We'll go over that as well. But $4.42 per share on MSTY that will be coming in hot. So let's come down here and let's first look at MSTY because my gosh, this stock's freaking insane. We only have $1,700 on this position. We are up 62.65% on this, and that's not including dividends. Yeah, this one's insane. MicroStrategy, MSTR, is going absolutely berserk. I think it's up like 900% for the year. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but we're just letting this one ride, and we're having fun with it. We have a dividend coming in again, like I said, about $4.42 per share. Last dividend that came in was $4.20 per share, so it absolutely beat that. So we should receive probably $70 worth of dividends on MSTY, which will be really nice. The big change today that we are doing is we are dropping IWMY. I have owned this, and I owned this before. I wouldn't be dropping it if RDT didn't come out, but RDTE is just outperforming it. If you look at IWMY, I am down 28.92% or $263. On the flip side, I've received over $300 in dividends, so I'm actually up in total return. So that's good to know, but it's just underperforming. If we look at RDTE, this one I am actually up 3.54%, plus I've received a truckload of dividends. So it's time. So first things first, we are going to be dropping that off the portfolio. We're going to come in here. We're going to take the loss on this. Again, the total overall, I am actually taking a W on it, but we're cutting this position. I'm simplifying the portfolio. I'm dropping one more asset out of there, and IWM is gone. I don't need two funds that sell on the same index, that do the same thing, and that pay weekly. I just need one. So I'm going to pick the one that I have the most money in already, and the one that is holding a better NAV. And so we're going to be going with that. So what are we doing today with our money? Well, we're making big purchases. As you guys know, I said BITO got called away. So we went from $17,000 worth of margin in the account last month to $2,970. So we've almost evaporated all of our margin. You guys know I want to have about $10,000 worth of margin in this account at all times for right now. It just makes sense for me on the numbers with how things have been and with interest rates coming down. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to buy some more assets. I'm not going to spend it all today, but I do want to buy some more assets, and I'm going to buy in two different stocks. I'm looking at YMAX and I'm looking at RDT. YMAX gives me that exposure. We already have 4% of the portfolio in this, 88 shares, but it gives me the exposure to a lot of YieldMax's funds all with one, right? Top 10 holdings are about 50% of the portfolio, 43%. We have TSLA, MSTR, Coin, SQ, the Bitcoin ETF, DIS, JPM, ARKK, Snow, and Netflix. And so I just want to add a little bit more to this. NAV has been really good. The payout for this week on YMAX is going to be 24.4 cents. And so we are coming in and we are buying some shares. How many are we buying? Well, we're buying in shares, not dollars. Oh, whoops. Let me grab that. And we're going to be buying ourselves of YMAX a solid 100 shares. That's going to be $1,800. So we sold, $700 ish or so of IWM. We're going to buy ourselves $1,800 worth of YMAX. That's going to bring us up to, should be 188 shares as this updates. Yeah, 188 shares. We're about break even, so it's holding NAV really well. If we look at the past, 3 months, yeah, we're just breaking even, but it's paying a weekly payment. So that in itself right there should increase my payment this week for about $24. $24.40 should be the payment extra that I'll receive on Friday. And then every single Friday after that, I should continue to increase the drip there. So YMAX is there. And then the next position I want to double up, and I've talked about this before, is going to be RDT. We have 145 of XDT. We have 146 of QDT. Now we are going to ratchet up RDT. So we're coming in here. We're buying some shares. We're buying 50 shares of $2,100 worth. We could buy more. I want to see if we get a dip before the end of the year. But just like that, we spent $4,000, right? So that'll increase the share count quite a bit. Obviously, we're almost break even on this one as well. So we're not increasing our cost basis too much. We're up to 125 shares. Again, I've said it a couple of times. I want my shares to be 150, 150, 150 of the DTE funds. Drip should get the other two XDT and QDT up there just on its own through drip, and this one is now going to bring that up. So the payment on RDT this week is 41 cents. So I just added $20 to my weekly income, right around there, depending on how the payments continue to come out, right? So $5,500 worth of market value there, 13% of the portfolio. We are keeping ourselves very diversified. And what I mean by that is we have SCHD, which is a basket of 100 plus stocks, dividend paying stocks, VTI, which is the entire market, XDTE, which is the S&P 500, QDTE, which is the NASDAQ 100, RDT, which is a Russell 2000, and then YMAX, which is a basket of all of YieldMax stocks, right? So those are our heaviest hitters right there, and we are well diversified into hundreds and hundreds of stocks. So that's what we love to see. So we brought up the position on RDT, we dropped IWM, and then we added to our YMAX position, and our weekly income should start to skyrocket. I mean, just today we added about $45 a week to our income, so not too bad. BITO, we still have the 17 shares. We are up 40% on this. Unfortunately, we lost some shares, but it is what it is. Average cost on these, $18.06. We booked a massive W. We de-risked. And again, we're just going to keep selling puts. If I go here and I look to sell puts for, let's say, December 6th, and we want to get back down here in that $21 range, I could probably look for the $22 range. I could come here. I could do 3 of those, receive another $104. So we'll probably do something like that on the next pullback. As of right now, Bitcoin is going into the absolute moon. So let's take a look at a couple of things. So we have some payments that came out, right? Let's go to the account. Let's look at this tweet that I put out last night. Round Hills payments, ex-dividend date tomorrow. Depending on when you're watching this, it's on 11/21. Pay date, as always, on Friday. QDTE, 25.2 cents per share, which is literally the exact same as last week. We love to see that. XDTE, 25.8 cents a share, which is down from the 27 cents last week. RDT up to 41 cents this week from 33 cents last week. So that's not too bad. We love to see that. And we have one more update as well before we get to the spreadsheet. You guys probably saw this, but YieldMax announced their dividends. MSTY at 135%, AIYY at 105, SMCY at 100.24, YMAX at 69.49, YMAG at 16.05. So what matters to us, or at least for me, I should say, is YMAX at 24 cents for this week. MSTY at $4.42. What the heck? That's absolutely insane. And then those are pretty much the only ones I know. But if you were looking for any of the others, you can see them right here. Scheduled for next week. YMAX, of course. YMAG, of course. TSLY, CRSH, GOOI, YBIT, OARK, XOMO, SNOI, and TSMY. So those are the ones on deck for next week. Let's jump into the spreadsheet and take a look at how the numbers are looking. For the month, and this is pretty cool to see, we are sitting in November at $927. So 20 days into the month, we're almost already at $1,000 worth of income. Are we going to have a big pullback on income because we sold BITO? 100%, right? This was a stock that was paying, what are we at right now? 34% of the portfolio. So it probably pays between 25 and 30% of the portfolio's dividends. We are going to take a massive hit there, but I'm putting that capital to use. Yes, we may be losing some dividend income, but I'm selling options, so the options income will come up. I took some of that money and I put it into what you just saw, right? RDTE and YMAX. That's going to increase income there. So we increased the weekly income. We decreased the monthly income on BITO. But I think overall, we are still on our way to consistently bringing in $1,000 a month. Plus, we reduced our margin, which is good. Like I said, 10,000 is what I want to be at. We are definitely under. What were we sitting at after those purchases? Let me just double check. We are sitting at about $7,000 worth of margin, so not too bad. So let's jump into something that I thought is actually really interesting. Right here, our November income already, 20 days in, is higher than all of the dividend income we received in the entire year of 2023. That's absolutely insane. Another thing to look at here on BITO, we received $1,425 worth of dividends. Then we sold it for a profit, and now we're out. So that was a nice, I don't know what, for probably $1,600, $1,700 win for the year. I'll take it. Another thing to note, options income, $2,700 so far this year. In November, we've already made $201. You saw a lot of those plays on the table. We're averaging $250 a month in options income. So when you look at the total overall picture and you look at what this portfolio is doing, last month we did $1,200 in options income. You add $250 to that, we're talking about a $1,500 a month portfolio, and that is where we are just getting started. 83 cents an hour in dividend income. And let's look at the graphs, right? This is last year compared to this year. Green being this year, blue being last year. Absolutely destroying it. 118 last year in November, 927 so far, and we should get close to that $1,200 mark this month. If you want to look at the breakdown of percentages so far, you can see them here. $261 so far worth of Round Hill, $307 worth of YieldMax, $315 on BITO, and we are increasing this each and every single week. MSTY is going to come in and it's going to steal the show, and then we have a couple other ones that are going to trickle in as well. So that is the update for this week. I will show you this, of course, as always, the total picture of what we look like on QDT, RT, and XDT. Average weekly dividend on QDT, 24 cents. Average on XDT, 23 cents. Average on RDT over the last 4 payments for these is 32 cents. QDT total return 714 or 11.67%. Not bad. XDTE 698 total return 9.28%. RDTE 14.68% return, total return $475. And YMAX, similar picture here, $183 worth of total return. We did just bring that up a whole bunch. So this sucker is going to really start getting going. We're only 9 weeks into the dividend snowball. You can see there, almost buying myself a share. Obviously, we are going to beat that now. We are going to buy ourselves probably close to 2 shares now as things really start to get going. We're still at a half a share on RDT a week. Average here about points, probably 0.65 on XDT a week. And then we are close to that $1 or 1 share a week on QDT. So that's nice to see. That's where we're sitting on the account there. So that's the update for the week. That's the stock purchases we are making. We dropped IWMY. Nothing against it, but I think RDT is a better fund as of right now. If the numbers paint a different picture, then we will adjust accordingly. So thank you everybody, as always, for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like. Glad I could get another dividend video out there. We can make some purchases and show you what we got on the table. Appreciate everybody. Happy investing. We'll catch you next time.